guys, and welcome back to Birmingham Fan TV, and this is your Charlton match review show. Got Emily back again because I have no choice. No, I'm joking. Well, what do we say? I mean,
it was so good that we're both losing our voices already.
that was good. That was much better. I'm really happy with that one. A massive win in the capital again. I think it's 4 wins on the bounce in the capital for Blues now away from home. I think Millwall, QPR, Brentford, and Charlton now. So it's 4 wins on the bounce away from home in the capital.
That's a stat I haven't seen that one before, so I'm quite impressed with that one.
But yeah, I think that, you know, obviously as all said in the match preview, as long as we go there and put in a good performance, the results will come. And had we have put the performance in that we did yesterday and not won, nobody would have moaned.
Yeah.
People will moan when you don't put in the performances, but I thought we did both yesterday. And obviously, like you know, if you put in a performance, the likelihood is you can come out with a result, and that's exactly what happened yesterday.
Exactly. It was a great day. It's a great game. Never been to the Valley before. It's my first time. Fantastic ground. Probably up there with one of my favourites.
Yeah.
So proper football ground. Yeah. When we saw the lineup, I was a little hesitant, but not in a bad way. I was anticipating a change compared to the game against Stoke, but to throw Bellingham in, I thought was either going to be a master stroke of genius, or it was going to be too much for him. It showed straight away that he is mature enough to handle a big game away from home.
Yeah.
Putting Marabti back in was, I thought that was the right choice. The only thing we were considering was having Crowley on the right. It almost shackled him. But we were thinking if Villalba had been fit, because obviously he must be injured, seeing as he wasn't even in the 18.
Yeah.
Villalba would have gone where Crowley was, and Crowley would have gone where Marabti was. But overall, the lineup I was very pleased with.
Yeah.
Very pleased.
Yeah, no, certainly. So obviously Blues lined up with camping goal, Collan, Roberts, Dean and Pedersen. So sticking with that 4 at the back, we thought we might have gone 5 at the back being away from home. He likes to be flexible. Had we have played the right way again, you know, no one's going to moan at 4 or 5, but the 4 seemed to work yesterday. But I think the midfield was where we got it right yesterday, like you said.
Absolutely.
Didn't matter about the 4 or the 5, depending on what we were going to play. The midfield was key. So we lined up 4-2-3-1, 4-4-2, Sunjic and Davis in the middle, and then sort of the 3 advanced midfielders were Crowley, Bellingham and Marabti in behind the striker, Bellingham on the left, Crowley on the right, and Jukovic up top. Really happy with it. It was balanced. It showed it had a bit of everything, bit of pace, bit of power, bit of presence in the air, but a lot of technical players in there as well that can do the job. And I was dead happy with it. And obviously, as you've probably seen from the pre-match, the after-match talks from Pep, they lined up with a diamond in midfield. So they had 4 very compact midfielders. And he says, you know, if we can get wide and we can expose those wide positions, then that's where the game could be won and lost. And it was. And he got it spot on. He got the team lined up spot on. He got the shape spot on. He got the balance right. He got the subs right. He got everything right again yesterday, Pep. I think he's still trying to find his feet, because obviously we've had games where he's made substitutions and they've not been right. He's gone into games with the wrong mentality or the wrong lineup from the start. But he seemed to learn from it. And I think he learned the Stoke game. He learned a lot. He learned a lot from the Swansea game going into the Stoke game. And then he learned a lot from the Stoke game going into this one. And I think that he's building and the team's building, and it looked good.
Yeah, I think he's definitely learning on the job. He has been almost chucked into the deep end with us, and he hasn't really got a lot of his own players. But the ones that he has got, and he's shaped the team around, he's obviously still trying to find his feet, like you say, and with his favourite formation, his style of players, his philosophy, so to speak, Don's philosophy. But I think that this now may be the making of Pep. Obviously, he's doing his research. Obviously, he's really prepared for the opposition. He's studying the opposition. He's making our team, especially away from home, to go against the opposition now. That's what I think he's going to do. He's almost going to try and take the game to them rather than let them play their game. So I'm really impressed with Pep from this game. Yeah. Hopefully, games continue like this. We've got Preston next weekend, but I was blown away by yesterday.
Yeah, no, massively, and we had the chances. So the first half was a bit of a 50-50. It was one of those, you come at us, we'll come at you. Neither team wanted to go all out from the start, but I thought the Blues edged the first half without really landing too many punches.
Mm-hmm.
Same with Charlton, they didn't land too many punches. I don't think they really had a shot in the first half that troubled camp, as to speak. Whereas we had one that was tipped over from Jukovic, where he come in and he had a good effort saved. So I think that, overall, the first half, I was happy. I went in at halftime very, very happy. We looked solid in the midfield. We knocked the ball around well. The wing backs, full-backs were getting up really well. And it's what we've lacked. I think if you look at where the goal came from yesterday, it's exactly what we spoke about on here for numerous weeks now of why the full-backs don't push on, I'll never know. Maxime Collin has got so much ability, and to shackle him and to keep him restricted when coming forward, because that's where he's not exactly a big, tall defender.
But he's quick.
Coming forward, he's really good. And he did that yesterday. He made 2 or 3 superb forward runs. And the one goal came from it where he beat 2 players. He laid it into Marabti, and the pullback was great. But obviously, Maxime Collin was your man of the match on the Twitter vote poll yesterday. I think it was I don't think it was much of a competition.
It was emphatic. It was an emphatic win.
Yeah,
from Collin.
We put four names in there that we thought were the four standout players, but there was plenty. I think that Camp could have been in there. I think that Dean could have been in there. Roberts could have been in there. It was harsh, but I think that Collin got 61% of your votes. Bellingham got 25%. Sunjic got 11%. Davis got 2%. But I think people said, Crowley. Someone said Davis was hard done by, but only getting 2%. So everybody played their part yesterday, and it was a great win. So for the stats for the game, as you'll get on Emily's right, I think we kept the ball a little bit better. I think that was the one standout thing that you could see was that we got the balance right. We didn't knock it round too much like we did at Forest. I think if you can keep the ball too much, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
We played about 400 passes at Forest with no penetration.
Yeah.
We played about 100 and something passes at Swansea, again with nothing. We got the balance right yesterday. We played 201 passes yesterday. 70 of those were in the final third.
Wow.
So we really had the ball in there, where it could hurt them. We tried to keep the ball around their box. We showed good composure. And I think that's where it won it for us. They had 12 shots, we had 11 shots. 3 shots we had 6 shots on target out of our 11 shots yesterday. So again, incredibly ruthless to speak. I think their keeper pulled off 2 good saves as well. We could have had 2 or 3. Yeah, don't get me wrong, Camp made 2 fantastic saves as well.
We had a few over the bar yesterday, didn't we? From Alvaro and Duke. But overall, it was a much better clinical, so to speak, performance than what it has been.
Oh, massively, yeah. One player I do want to highlight, because I think we spoke about Max, we don't need to say much about Jude, because we all know what a fantastic player Jude is. Quiet in spells, but when he did get the ball, he was very effective on that left-hand side.
He does the basics very well, and then that makes his flair even better, because he's getting it right from the get-go.
Yeah.
He's not sort of just doing little spells, he's doing it right consistently.
No, massively. But one player I did want to highlight was Dan Crowley. We said to you guys, does he deserve the start? Obviously, he has been, he started. And, going off the statistics, which we will leave as well here, he was Blues' most effective player.
Yeah.
All over the park. Created 3 chances for Blues, which was the most of any Blues player, and joint most in the game. The second most attacking third passes behind Max. The most crosses for any Blues player. He had the most take-ons for any Blues player. His attacking stats for yesterday were incredibly impressive.
But when he's come on, he has been incredibly impressive as well. I can put up here his stats when he came on from the bench against Stoke. He was incredibly impressive then. So he's consistently talented, and he's our consistent attacking threat, I think.
I agree.
He's been the player that Blues have been crying out for a very, very, very long time.
Yeah.
And I think with him in the team, I think he's been our best signing, bar none, this summer.
Yeah, I think for value for money, I think you could see how good Sunjic was yesterday.
Yeah.
Very good, awareness of the game. He knows where to be in the right times to pick up loose balls, to make those interceptions. Him and Davis yesterday were outstanding in that midfield. Both of them
monsters
were awesome yesterday. Yeah, plenty of energy. Both of them kept the ball really well, as you'll see from some of the passing stats we'll leave on the right hand side here for the two midfielders. Yeah, it was an overall really good performance, but like we say, Crowley, when he's not been in the team, it's not been of his own fault. He's been sacrificed because they wanted to change the shape, or he didn't fit into the shape. It's not that he's ever played badly, but when he's in, he's so effective. For me, we build the team around him. That's how I felt from the start, though. When I knew we were bringing him in, I said to you in the summer, for 750 grand, you're not going to get a better player for that kind of money for a value. And like you say, you can see from his stats, you build a team around him. You get someone that can make the runs in behind. You get the two wingers. He can utilise all of those. His spatial awareness, his passing ability, his vision, everything is massively underappreciated. I think in certain aspects, I think he does a lot for the team that people don't see and don't like. Obviously, you guys, I'm sure, will leave your comments down below, letting us know your thoughts. And obviously, do you agree with the man of the match for Maxime Colin yesterday? I don't think anybody's really going to argue with that one. I thought he was outstanding.
Yeah, completely. Let's talk about the goal. I want to talk about the goal.
Yeah, sure.
Build-up play, absolutely, obviously fantastic from Max. Mirabti played this part yesterday. We'll give our own ratings at the end of the video for what we thought for the players yesterday. But Mirabti was up there with some of the best players, I personally think, for the role that he was asked to be playing. Yeah,
he was played in a slightly different position. I think he was half the time operating in a number 10, half the time was operating just off Jukovic as a second striker.
Yeah.
So it was a difficult role, and obviously just coming back from injury, I thought he played it really well.
Yeah.
Got the assist for the goal. And can I say for the goal that it's nice that Blues didn't score a headed goal for once, and it's nice that Blues had a well-worked goal, to speak. We worked it out to Max. He drove inside, he beat two players, he played a lovely little reverse ball to Mirabti, who cuts the ball back for Bellingham, who's saying, give it to me. It's nice to have somebody, Jukovic pulls two players out. His run was, important to open that space up behind. And Bellingham's awareness to say, I need to be in and around that penalty spot, to be there, to arrive, because you could see the space opening up, was really, really important. And that shows intelligence in the game. It's massively overlooked at times, but his finish was great. Kept it low. Against a very good Charlton side, I thought yesterday. They showed quality. Yes, I think they missed Lyle Taylor yesterday massively. I think they lacked a little bit in the final third, but you can see they keep the ball really well. They do open teams up when they want to.
Oh yeah.
I just don't think it fully clicked for me yesterday, but I think it was credit to us as well. I think we shut them up. We minimalised their threats, and we matched them. I think that was important. Yep. We matched them. So do you want to give your team ratings?
So I'd give Camper 7.5. Yeah. Colin 8.5.
Okay. Man of the match.
Man of the match. So Roberts 7.5. Dean, I'd go 8.
You go 8. Yeah. Yeah.
Dean was very good yesterday. Yeah. I will stick some Dean stats up for once because he was.
You've been his biggest critic this season,
but he proved me wrong. Yeah. He was so good.
Yeah.
Pedersen, I'd go 7.5.
Yeah, he was good.
Then we had Crowley, who I would also give 8.5. I know Colin was man of the match, but I would still give Crowley 8.5 just because he was as good.
He was very impressive.
Then Sunjic and Davis. Sunjic I would give a 7. And Davis 7.5. I know jury's out on David Davis, but yesterday he was great. Then we had Bellingham on the left. I'd give him an 8. Just great guy. Mm-hmm. And then Duke I would give a 7. Sorry. He did bring space in for Bellingham to run into the goal, but on his own up there yesterday, he wasn't as effective as he normally was, but that wasn't the game plan. He always plays consistently well, so maybe 7.5, but I'd have to go with 7.
Okay.
And Mirabti, I'd go with a 7.5, because he really did. He was a catalyst for the goal. Yeah. He really did his difficult job well yesterday, And I was very impressed after coming back from an injury to go straight on. Another one quickly, Jax Magoma was fantastic when he came on yesterday. It's so good to have him back and being the Jax Magoma that we know and love. He was off a little bit some games last season, but he's come back with a bang, and let's hope this continues.
So don't forget to leave your ratings down below. How would you rate the team yesterday? Did you watch it? Did you go? Let us know. Shout out to Justin Keeney as well. He got the score prediction right. He went with a 1-0 away victory for Blues yesterday, so well done, Justin. Match ratings, I think that I'm going to be a bit more harsh. Not that I wasn't as impressed, but you know me, I like to keep my ratings quite tight. Camp gets a 7. I think he was very good. Made 2 good saves, but ultimately wasn't troubled too much. So didn't have too much, but when he was brought in, he did really well. So 7.
I would argue against that because he kept us in the game with those saves. Yeah, but okay.
Yeah. Massively. I think Colin gets an 8. Very impressive again. Played really well. I don't think he did anything wrong. So an 8 for me, gets man of the match as well from myself. The 2 centre-backs both get a 7 from me. Roberts and Dean, both equally as good as each other yesterday. Certain stats that Roberts excelled in and certain ones that Dean excelled in. And I think Pedersen as well gets a 7 from me. All very, very solid. Did nothing wrong throughout the game. Didn't put a foot wrong. And even when Charlton created those chances, it was not down to any individual errors. So all solid 7s from me. The 2 midfielders, the 2 central ones, Davis and Sunic, both 7.5 for me. I think that they kept the ball really well. I think it was a really difficult job for them yesterday. In the middle with 4 compact midfielders in front of them, 4 central midfielders. They played really well. I think their energy was really good. They didn't give the ball away a lot. And yeah, I think they go a little bit unnoticed at times. Yeah. I think both of them do. And they were really, really good yesterday. So 7.5. From right to left, Crowley gets a 8 from me as well, but not a man of the match 8. Mm-hmm. Max just edges that one. Morabti gets a 7 for me. Jude gets a 7 from me. And Duke gets a 7 from me. I don't think anybody merits less than a 7 for yesterday. You can't go away from home, win the game, and be given less than a 7.
The only reason mine are so high is because I think this has been by far the best game we've played this season. Mm-hmm. So this for me is now my benchmark.
Yeah, agree. This is the benchmark. They can't slip below the standard that they set yesterday. I think that was asked yesterday on Blues TV to Morabti. You can't slip behind it. He admits, this is where they have to propel from. From here. So massively impressed yesterday. So it's a good win. We move on to Preston away. Preston at home. Sorry. We will have a giveaway for that one. Hopefully.
I hope so.
This week. So we will try and shout it out in the podcast. I know some of you don't have social media, so we'll try and look out for that one. So obviously for those who don't, you can comment down below, but we'll let you know more in the podcast. But if you do have social media, go and follow us on Twitter. Go and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Emily usually runs most of them anyway. I run the Twitter and you run the
I'm trying with Facebook, but no one seems to want to like my page, so...
Yeah, it's you. It's your fault. So yeah, if you want to go and shout out the Facebook page, that'd be really appreciated, guys. Let people know about it.
Same name.
Yeah.
Just Birmingham Fan TV.
Yeah.
Give it a cheeky like. Just drop some thoughts on the page, whatever you think, and be great to have a chat with you guys. So.
Yeah, no, massively. And don't forget to like the video, guys. Subscribe if you haven't already, and comment your thoughts for the game down below. Leave your match ratings down below for each player. What do you guys think? Do you think we were right? Do you think we were wrong? Slightly different variations of the ratings, but let us know your thoughts, guys. That's what we want to hear. But I think that's all from me.
That's all from me.
Yeah. Thanks very much for watching, guys. We'll see you soon. Keep right on.
Keep right on.